As we can see, Powerful still in first place as predicted before. 3D Max, they'll be sitting tied now in second with YMCA. And gotta give it, I mean, YMCA, despite we complimented them on the rotations game one, haven't really been able to find their footing here in day two.
Yeah, they haven't so far. And even though Powerful do hold still quite a decent point lead between themselves and let's say 8th and 9th, what we have seen is that the points difference has gotten quite close between the likes of Last Crew in 5th
Yeah.
and PKD in 10th. And as every game is going to count, you want to get as many points as you can. But we are in to game 4 of the day out of 6 in total for today. And yeah, this playing trajectory, it's going to favor the likes of Military Base and then towards Pachinki and possibly Rozhok.
Yeah, that's the interesting thing about it, right? These southern plains, whenever you have those teams that like to go up north and they get thrown down south, they start changing up where they loot, and all of a sudden, it becomes a cluster to find anything. As we can see on our map screens right now as well, MJ-Esports, well, I mean, they have themselves 2 wins on the day already, but they're looting, I mean, at least landing in between a lot of opponents, and Futbolist almost getting something going there. Faye, fortunately, able to pick off the teammate, should allow for Enviik to get up into safety. Military Circle, Southern Plains, Southern Circle. That is a, I guess, a duo of things.
I swear to God, I was thinking, I was like, I need to say that I want a military base finish. We hadn't had one for quite a while. I love a military base finish, and this is 100% guaranteed to be a military base
now
finish.
You jinxed it. Now you jinxed it. Now somehow it's gonna go away from there.
No, it's not. It's not. Don't
no. No, I'm pretty sure it's gonna go down there as well, unless if we get some really absurd northern hardships. But as we saw, military it is, and well, I mean, for teams at least, that's a good thing, right? Because now they know it early, and that should allow for potential early rotations to come in as well. And
the good thing for the likes of YMCA who've landed in Primorsk is that they can just take the boat, but they want to do it somewhat quickly. And they can just take the boat over onto Military Island, because it would not be a wise thing for them to drive all the way to the bridge.
Oh, no.
I feel like that would be a dangerous call out. Of course, they're not going to do it, but either way, as MilkyWay, they had a good game last game. A good bunch of points went in their favor, 10 in total. Again, it's kind of that level of consistency that we hope to see them perform on. And they are in a nice spot inside Military.
Yeah, I mean, they're not exactly in a hurry to
to
get going, and that's the thing, right? Because I feel like it's harder to react on military circles if you're one of those middle teams. We're talking on the sort of the center layer of things. If you're a Pachinki team, if you're looting up in school and apps and all that. Whereas if you're a northern team, if you're looting Severny or North George or something like that, you're always like, you know what, we're gonna be late anyway. Let's just we'll take our time, and then then we'll get going. Whereas if you're in the middle, you both have to worry about, okay, who's gonna get there before us, and also who's gonna be driving like right behind us once we do start driving going forward. You can see AK, well, he crossed over without being taken down, or at least without damage being taken towards him. But I think he has a hunch that there might be someone nearby.
He does, and he's been that little bit of a scout once again. Like, I'm not a huge fan of scouts, but in this situation, when it's a military island finish...
Wait, time out, Imperium. Did you just say that you're not a big fan of scouts? You have to elaborate on that, because that is very opposite of what I would... I'm very interested in hearing the reasoning.
Okay, my reasoning for not being a huge fan of scouts is because in a game where being a full squad can give you such an advantage, if as a scout you get taken out early on, I just feel that it puts your team under a lot of pressure coming towards the late game. Like, I know it's a common thing, right? I'm just...
No, I get what you mean.
Personally, I'm not a huge fan of it, but that's a personal thing,
right?
Yeah,
I was just curious.
On the game meta, that it is standard and it's a common thing to pull out. It's just a personal thing.
Okay, that's fine. I mean, it makes sense. It's a risky thing to lose a player early for potentially no gain. But to me, I think the info you can get outweighs the risk, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, I get that. I totally get that. And yeah, I've just seen it happen a little bit too often, where I'm kind of like one member scouts and they get taken out early on. I'm kind of like, Was it really worthwhile? You know what I mean? But when it's a military-based finish like this, as I said, I totally agree with it. Totally agree with it.
Yeah, you cannot just full YOLO it all the time. You need to,
No.
you need to have that expandable player who's good with the bike, or who has an extra set of eyes in his. I don't even know how that works, but a guy that's good at telling whether a compound is free or not.
Exactly. Someone that has that spidey sense, right? That's able to just tell more than what is actually visible within reason. But SS says simply simple, they've made their way across unaffected. They're gonna kind of occupy that little bit of a housing area as the teams are all just gonna be making their way in to Military Island. Futbolist on that boat.
Yeah, they've got a little bit of a journey ahead of them, and they ain't exactly in a hurry. 4 guys in one boat, that's always scary to look at. Especially considering teams could be lining themselves up on the shorelines and prepping themselves for an easy 4 points right there.
Oh boy. And look, they're still lying in last place on 6 points. It's not over till the fat lady sings, so to speak.
That is true. That is true.
So we've seen them pull out strong performances. Let's see if Military Island can be in their favor today. Is simply simple. They have MilkyWay in the distance of them, but they also have a solid position for now, as 4 Kings have also made their way through inside the boat.
This is to me a little late to take a 4-man 1 boat rotation across, but fortunately for them there was no one on the other side, and I'm sure they did their scouting and reconnaissance probably to make sure that that was a possible rotation. Last crew, well, they've got all their guys across as well, it seems like, as they'll be making their eventual push in towards the island center.
I suppose, of course, what's always, but especially now, what this next kind of phase is going to tell is it going to be kind of what area of Military Island is it going to go towards?
Yeah.
Is it going to go towards Nova? Is it going to go towards the actual military base? Is it going to go down south by the coastline? It's going to be really interesting, and of course, it's going to come down to how quickly these teams are going to react as powerful. Again, shots fired, and are going to go all the way inside the blue zone to try and stay protected.
They need to go real far out there to have any chance of making it on over, and it seems like that's exactly what they're planning on doing. In all fairness, I mean, that's the thing that I don't get, and I wouldn't say that people forget about it. It's just that whenever you do see those military circles, like, oh, now it's just military, and then that's kind of, oh, that's a hard flip with a, oh, I guess it didn't really stick the landing. But hard flip with a double impossible flip in the end into the water. I don't know, something like that. For any skaters out there, correct me if I'm wrong. I've played Tony Hawk when I was a kid.
I know that's what I kind of thought of. Killer move, dude! Killer move! But SEEKORG, they're playing their way in. YMCA also made their way in. MJ-Esports are very close by to them, as you'll see these teams will kind of cluster a bit closer together because it's such a specific area of the map that's a guaranteed finish. But there is a loot crate. And PK,
there you go. That's what they get. That's what the game just like, you know what, that triple, quadruple, whatever the flip was, that's you know what, you get a grocer. That's what you get. That was, had it been stuck like pling, landing on the feet, all 4 wheels in the water at the same time, no splash or anything, that would have been an arm, I'm sure.
Of course. 100%.
So, but because they didn't really stick the landing, that would then it was only a grocer.
Of course, you're absolutely dead right, Toby. Absolutely dead right. Now, the teams that aren't in military base, okay, you got 3D, you've got SEEKORG, and you've got Enviik, as well as Airwaves. And I said, where was it gonna be? It's towards the deep west of Military Island.
Of water.
Still a lot of water occupying it. Wow.
Yeah, that's to say the least. That's more water than landmass, to be quite honest. That is a hell of a lot of it. The worst thing about this one is that, well, next one doesn't really have to consist on land either. So, for Futbolist, they're going to be all kinds of happy with this. Get the hell out of those boats, start sprinting, because you will want somewhere to call your own in this circle. Believe me, a lot of teams will have to scramble to get anything going at all with this new shift.
And that's the thing. Look at this. I don't know if you quite remember, because obviously, you know, casting a hell of a lot, you can't remember everything. But there's that game in Contenders where the airplanes played into effect. I forget exactly what teams were involved, but we could see similar situations happening. But Airwaves, Amorous, and a couple of other members are in that boat, taking shots from last crew.
Pyram, did you just tell me that I can't remember everything?
No.
I'm just kidding. Of course I can remember everything. That was a game where Tausera and Desperados won, right? They were fighting against Tornado Energy or something like that. I don't know.
I believe it. Wow. Okay, you know what? I'm sorry for doubting you, but the first knockdown has come out.
Gotta say, everything considering, I mean, we've only lost 2 players so far. That was the second on a military game like this. Very impressive to see so many make it across, but of course the fights have to happen eventually, and now huge potential are the ones taking casualties, and they were the ones that looted here to begin with. Keep that in mind.
I know. You think they would have found themselves in a kind of better position to be on the offensive rather than being on the offensive, but either way, it's not the case, as 3 members of Simply Simple are close to 1 member of YMCA as SEEKORG. They're doing everything they can. All they can do is just person by person try to make their way over the bridge in those vehicles. Hopefully, they won't get too much under pressure wise from the likes of last crew, but shots are being fired in their direction.
Yeah, and they have Furex sitting up at the lighthouse as well, trying to put some sort of suppressive fire down. And as you can see here, well, no one's there to greet them. Airwaves, they were across as well, but they're not up from the shoreline, so they need to get things going before they can start shooting. And, well, I mean, that does mean safe passage for SEEKORG, at least for now. At least for now, they made it safely on over, but nothing's determined just yet.
Manny on the side of 4 Kings taking a little bit of damage. We've seen Huth being knocked down by Mans from MilkyWay, so the smoke grenade is going to go out there so he can try and get that revive. Keep Futbolist as a 4-man squad because they rotated generally early enough, so they're in somewhat of a potentially much better position than they have been in other games to try and get those points, to try and climb up the tables and get them closer to the top 9 golden spot.
See, now Macon and the Airwaves players did manage to make their way on up, but it seems to me like Furus might be able to get into safety, especially considering the fact that that the team is there now to do the suppressive fire as well. Genso and 3D Max, they're fighting things off on the southwestern side. As you can see, seems to me like we got I was gonna call them my wow, these circles, they're just being stupid right now. But MilkyWay, they are indeed pushing down towards Futbolist.
Oh my god, I was thinking it was going to be an actual military finish, but nope, it just kicks these teams in the face and puts it ever so more southwest. Now, the good thing is that the next phase will have to be inland, so it'll give these teams a higher area, but Futbolists have been eliminated.
Yeah, this circle is this circle went as far towards the water, I think, as it possibly could. That's pretty entertaining to see for us, because of course, I mean, it does exclude a whole hell of a lot of compounds and make it living hell for the majority of the players trying to make their way on out. The thing is, next circle has to go towards the mainland once again. There's just not a whole lot of land to take.
No, there's not. And like, I'm normally a fan of these really awkward circle finishes. I like whatever puts these players under pressure, I absolutely love, right? But even I feel sorry for these teams. I really feel sorry for these teams. Like, I understand that it's such an asshole of a circle to deal with.
Indeed it is. Well, that's the thing. You mean you gotta be able to work your way around everything. And right now, at least, huge potential once more, finding themselves in a pretty decent compound for the 3rd time today. They've been able to find some of those money compounds early on in the game. Now, YMCA seems to me like Sakura is under pressure, and indeed he is. Astrolobak able to get the noggin towards him. The flash will come as well, and that is going to be him taking out SS. From the other side, they're trying to do something to maybe get themselves a little bit of a freebie, but well, Inside Games didn't lose anyone, and now they have to play it smart.
Oh, it's great flank coming out from them to get that frag. He was on his own though, in fairness, so there was always a high chance he wasn't going to be able to survive. As I assumed they get knocked down, Morpheus is going to look to secure that frag and keep them pushing on forward. That's going to be their 2nd kill of the day.
Yeah, I mean, powerful. They were They were in the water for quite a while, sailing around, trying to find their entry point to the island, and now they've all managed to get on foot. I mean, well, they got themselves a 17-kill win in the first game, so big chances for them to be able to rack up some more. Marcel, I guess I say that, gets himself a knock instantly, so that's just gonna make things even harder. Manny now jumping out, but Caterin is there immediately with the knock, and that's gonna be eXtatus securing themselves some more points.
And that does communicate to Phosphor from the side of Four Kings to get the hell away from there.
Yeah.
Gonna go in that vehicle, but shots are being fired towards him from all angles. But he's gonna find a nice spot for now, so he can look to be. Oh wait, no, sorry.
That's a nice spot.
Yeah.
That's a nice spot. All of Airwaves saw him. Yeah, that's not where we want to be sitting.
No.
PKD, there are 4 guys in the vehicle in the middle of the airfield right now. Of course, we can't really see exactly what's going on, but looking at the map stream, seems like they're having a party. They're all getting knocked.
Yep.
Why are we watching the map? And that was, okay.
Like, if you're gonna be 4 men in the vehicle, make sure you are driving in an area that is, as much as possible, not going to be occupied by teams. And there's always going to be a high chance that there's going to be teams around that area, so they paid the price for that. But his action now is starting to heat up as Enviik is feeling the heat from MJ.
Everybody knew where that next circle was going to shift, and that's where they committed to staying on the edges. They knew it was going to go in this direction, and well, I mean, and at least for now, the thing is, everyone is going to be pinned now. Everybody knows that all the compounds around them are taken. And that pretty much forces them to say, if we don't get knocks now, if we don't get kills, it's just going to be us either going in vehicles and sending it forward, or smoke the hell out of everything and full YOLO push on forward.
Did you see Phantom and Solar just going for a bit of a swim? You know, it's always important to get your exercise in when you're when you're playing, because having that physical health does help yourself focus on the game. So it's nice to see coming out from 3D Max. But now, huge potential. We talked about how they occupied this compound early on, and it's putting them in a good position to try and get a couple more points in their favor.
Yeah, and it's always tricky. I mean, when we see these situations where one team full speeds forward and gets completely wiped in it, I mean, it makes them look, if we don't get the context, it makes them look bad for doing so. But I think what happened there, I mean, is it's not them saying, oh, let's just YOLO and full send it. I think they literally went through all their opportunities, like all the options they had available, and at some point along the way they came down to, you know what, I think there's only really one thing we can do here, and that's just jump into this vehicle and then just send it forward. And unfortunately for the PUBG guys, didn't really work out the way they would have wanted it to. Now Hockey seems like he spotted out one of the Airwaves players, and indeed he did. Mackin goes down, but damage coming in return immediately as Hockey goes down.
Yeah, like if you're gonna try and go for that kind of frag, just try to make sure you can at least protect yourself a little bit easier, a little bit quicker when you do get that knockdown, because God knows that against these teams, against these players, the second they sniff you, one of their members being knocked down, they're gonna turn their attention towards that. But either way, eXtatus are being put under pressure by Airwaves. Double frag grenade.
Nade takes double down to have HP, and he's all by himself in this one. Should be able to finish him off. Indeed it does. And eXtatus, they'll go out in 13th place. In the meantime, on the hillsides in the southwest, SEEKORG and 3D Max, the French teams, trying to square things off here. Not really making things easy for either of them.
Well, 3D Max have received help from an unlucky.
Indeed, they have. I mean, normally it's 3D Max who help out other teams, right? So I guess it's only fair that they get a little help too. I think Phantom has forgotten where you get up in these rock formations. Yep, Phantom, you're going in the right direction.
Rock climber is his friend. Come on, you can do
Vault,
it. We believe in
vault, you. Jump, vault, jump, vault, and
push.
He's just gonna chill. He's waiting for solo. I like that.
Yeah, he is.
Play it smart. Play it safe. Wait for your teammate. And well, there's no reason for them to peek over right now. They know that they have SEEKORG right up and above them. So wait for that next circle to pop. It could go center. Huh. That's interesting. You have the hillside up by YMCA in there. And then, of course, the main point of this one is going to be south, or the eastern side, pretty much. All the compounds are excluded.
Yeah, and only 3 teams are actually inside the circle. So that's going to be interesting for these teams having to move in. Solar did get it. Solar doing the work. Phantom got knocked down, but got taken down in the process. That revive will be able to be secured by Phantom.
Yeah, last crew was there, the third party on it. Ferex almost had that one, but didn't quite happen. Now he has the nades in hand. It's gonna fly forward. And it's gonna go right past Phantom. Had that been cooked for just a little while longer, that would have been a money nade. And now, whoop, Phantom. Well, it's down once. He's gonna go down again. This should allow for Ferex to at least get the rest up on towards his teammates. And that's one of the things with these circles. They do pop and they do start closing really, really quickly. And now we got MilkyWay in the compound with huge potential.
Yeah, that's just what MilkyWay have to do. They have to crash it right. They have to push it forward. They have to put huge potential under a lot of pressure because they want to secure it as much as possible. But if you're going to do it, you want to make sure you do it right. And Mans and the rest of his team just playing it a little bit safer, waiting for each other to stay together and then possibly be able to get the work done. But Zampeak, Inside Games still sticking together, doing a good job so far.
Inside Games had to cross from one side to another, and they succeed in doing so, getting themselves a building to play from. Wago taken down. Turbo Banani is there to take him out. Sola is trying to push up the hill now as well. By himself, pushing Wago. Phantom down. Sola gets one, but he's going to go down in the end. Jappy is going to be the one to secure the finish off. So once again, last crew is there to interfere.
Yeah, we did see Enviik getting eliminated. 3D Max getting eliminated. Suddenly we go down to 9 teams, 27 players. Simple eliminated. It's HP.
Out is Salter still alive, 1v3, and he's taking down 2 already. Smoke thrown forward, multiple other teams starting to chime in on this one. Enod is there to help out now. He does have the angle from outside of Mans. Might be wanting to go for the rest here. Don't get confused by these sound cues from the other screen. Salter still get down, but in the end, the finish off comes in. And once again, huge potential. They might not be the aggressive team, but they sure do know how to hold their enemies off.
They held off quite effectively. A couple of players did go down in the process, but they still stayed together as a 2-man team driving on forward. 8 teams, 20 players alive. Look at that kill feed just being popped off as these teams are getting closer. MJ trying to drive into the circle. YMCA are holding them off for now as the nades fly out.
MJ trying to stay in the game here. They have 2 wins today already, but I think Mini might be in for a bit more than he can handle here. Of course, 7th place guaranteed is going to be good. At least 1 point secured. Got a few kills with it as well, I believe. And well, I mean, when everything comes down to it, it's still all the games so far today being within placement points.
Yeah, of course. It's definitely keeping it consistent, keeping it somewhat average points per game. High enough, and high is what they need to be. Ghostar looking for Inside Games, making sure that those reses do not go off as they eliminated them.
And I was just gonna say, you gotta keep in mind that whenever powerful the 4 guys up, they had 17 kill win to start off the day. They have 6 kills already in this one, and they're 4 guys a lot. And there's no saying and what they could potentially accomplish here. They just took out the guys in the southeast, and that should allow for them to have that entire side of the hills by themselves.
Oh boy, this action is really starting to heavily unfold. Although quite quickly we've seen these teams whittle down, and we only have 5 left. 14 players left alive.
Keep in mind that coming into this game, Powerful has 22 more kills than the team sitting below them, and that's absolutely mad. They're sitting in first place right now with a pretty commanding lead. Now we'll see how well they can hold it coming in to these final engagements.
But the good thing for YMCA is that they're still in it, and they're currently lying in 3rd overall. And the likes of MJ, they're out of it. The likes of, well, actually, last crew, they're still in it. So either way, if YMCA can just secure those extra points ahead of the likes of last crew and huge potential, it means it'll create that higher level of point difference against the teams below them. Keep themselves securing this top 9 spot. Powerful trying to move up on top of this hill. As one final member of Airwaves are still going. Sidovnik, what can he do?
I like the way they're engaging this. I mean, slowly and steadily making their way up, but don't overcommit to the full push up the hill. You said every single time you find some cover, stop, take a breather, take a look around, and see if you can spot any opponents.
Exactly, and just then stay quite close as a 4-man team while still trying to peek and cover all of those angles around them. Good thing is that they don't have any team directly, like other than YMCA, like last crew are on the other side of the road. Huge potential are on the other side of the road. So for now, at least, Powerful are actually in a pretty solid position.
I mean, right now, at least, as you said, I mean, everyone's just waiting for that next circle spot.
Yeah.
Where are they going to be forced to go? Who's going to be forced to move? And considering that I think most people know where their opponents are, at least kind of overall, like they have a vague idea of kind of where everyone is at this point, with only 14 players alive. Ooh, Southern shift. That's going to force YMCA down, and I honestly don't see them going anywhere but down towards Powerful.
No, I actually think, well, actually, I agree with you, but they might take a bit of an interesting route and go down the west side and possibly.
It's just so scarce.
Road. It is. I know it's very risky, but I don't think they want to go towards Powerful because they know how good they are, and Powerful do have that angle covered quite strongly.
Also, Dovnik, solo guy, still alive. 8 kills for the team so far. Managed to fight one and gets himself a second as well. Last crew under tons of pressure, but Jappy is there to take a stop in it. That's a lot of damage coming in their way, but fortunately, they do manage to well, to get into some sort of a reset before next fights commence.
Yeah, it was a great job by Sadovnik. He got a frag out forward for his favor as Marcelic is on 5 kills, and this is what I'm talking about.
10
you don't
kills.
want to go near Powerful. 10 kills in total for them in this game already.
They are looking to get something close to their previous game. What was it, 17 kills they had in that one? Still 7 more players up for grabs as far as kills go, and right now they're trying to take shots at everyone.
Yeah, and that's why I think YMCA were kind of wise not go directly near Powerful, because that's what can happen. So if they can look to avoid them, and potentially Powerful can get fragged out by somebody else, then that might give YMCA a bit of a better opportunity. But because there's only 11 players alive and 4 of them are Powerful, it's going to help them ever so further to secure this chicken dinner.
Keep in mind, though, that should this next circle shift down south, that's going to be the last one that we get to see go anywhere. True. That could be Powerful having to cross the road, and that could become could become tricky, because that could mean that all the other teams currently sitting safe on the other side is just going to stop what they're doing and hold Powerful off. But as you can see here, they are on the downhill slant, so it actually makes it a little hard for the teams on the west side of the road here to really do anything until they're all the way over the road. Only really YMCA can do something from up there.
Yeah, true. Plus, Last Crew are actually focused on YMCA, whereas Last Crew are possibly looking for this side of Powerful. But we've seen a knockdown. Morpheus has gotten it onto Sampula. Is that the push that Powerful are going to be able to play onto YMCA, or even Lost Crew? Are they going to be able to get the job done?
To wait and see. Last Crew, only 3 kills so far. They, of course, want to get some more with it. And you can see the positioning for YMCA. One well-placed nade could have been them completely eliminated. They're slowly and steadily making their way forward. Jabby throwing some nades up. Then Marcelic spots that one, but a lot of damage is coming in return.
Oh, boy. Last Crew, what can you do? YMCA, you are kind of feeling pinched, as you said. Having to go across that road. Sampula doing his best to stay alive. Turbo Banani was knocked down. He has been fragged out by Ghostar. I feel this is YMCA's end, and it is. They get eliminated in 4th.
Last Crew, nice timing on the third-party engage from the other side of the road. They're really, really wisely played by them. And once again, huge potential. They might not be getting a whole hell of a lot of kills, but they sure are making their way into the late game. And look at this, 12 kills. Full Powerful. They are a make or break team. They had a 17-kill win. Next game, 0 points. And now they come into this one looking extremely strong once again.
Well, that's the thing. In games like this, when you only have 16 games to get as many good results as you can, it's not how badly you do, it's how you respond to a bad game. And Powerful responded to a 0-point game with this kind of potential result. Just shows how strong, how confident they feel in their own performance.
For sure. Okay, Jabby, well, I mean, they have got themselves 1 rock to work with, a few trees here and there as well. Potentially, we haven't really seen the circle in a while, so don't know whether they will have to cross the road or not. But oh, there you go. The circle's pushing Diggory out. 2 ticks in the blue. That could be the difference maker in whether he'll get to stay alive or not. But now 3 players behind 1 rock.
Oh, man. Last Crew, they're doing their absolute best, but Powerful. They're just putting so much pressure on both teams at this stage.
Unless if Last Crew gets some really, really good knocks in now, pretty much, then I don't see anyone Powerful win this game. Last Crew needs to land a hell of a lot of good ones, and I was just gonna say they are within 8 distance now, and one good one could be the death of them. Just a bit too far. That one Masterlick gets down one. Norkis is all the way up close. He could push around, fly a few more bullets down on the backside. Smokes are being thrown. He's gonna push around the backside, gets the first one down, immediately runs back, and he gets taken down too.
Oh my lord, last crew have been eliminated. It's down to 2 members of huge potential. They're proning, they're snaking in the distance. They see up ahead of them, but it is a 4v2 situation with the powerhouse of Powerful sticking together as a 4-man team. You can only tell that it is most likely going to be... Sorry, it's a 3v1. My apologies. It's only going to be Powerful's game to lose.
Unless if Enon pulls out some absolute magic, nothing's gonna happen, and that indeed is going to be yet another Powerful win today. 15 kill game for them. Yanis started off the game for us in style, but it would be Powerful to take the military game win there in the end of things. What a hell of a crazy one at that.
And when you think that they actually moved in quite late, and they actually had to go inside the blue zone for quite a bit to avoid being shot. I think it was 3D Max, I believe, to correct me if I'm wrong. But either way, to reposition in such a good way and to take that win, man, like I said, just shows how confident they are in their own gameplay.
They have got 52 points in 2 games today.
Yeah.
That is pretty damn impressive, and they were sitting in first place already, and that's only gonna, of course, throw them even further up there. Very, very impressive games from Powerful today, and who knows, maybe there's an orc wanting to decide something. But of course, I mean, one thing is what you do in the qualifiers, and one thing is what you do in the close qualifiers. So that too, it all comes down to them impressing when it comes to phase 3, should they get there, which at this point pretty much guaranteed for them to. I don't see how they go out of top 8 now.
And also considering like how dominant they were in stage 1, I was a little bit worried that that might fall apart, that the teams below them might kind of catch up, right? They might kind of be able to start matching what Powerful were doing in stage 1, but that's not the case. Powerful just constantly overall stepped up their game after game, and to get these kills, to get these frags, and to get these chicken dinners, it is so impressive.
That to me though is where it becomes interesting, because Powerful, I mean, despite as good as we've seen them play here, did not have a very good Contenders Phase 2 whatsoever, and that's what has you scared, right? I mean, one thing is you can perform against, I mean, we can be honest and say teams that aren't as good as because there's a reason that they're where they are right now, and well, I mean, everything considered, you have to constantly be able to impress, and I'm excited to see all of these games we've seen now, and all of everything we've seen them do through the promotionals. I'm excited to see them back in phase 3, get something going.
100%. But as we do see, 3 teams got 0 points.
Yeah.
0 PKD and 4 Kings.
This is a interesting lineup, of course, and that's what happens when you have a few teams that get so many kills. Well, it's pretty obvious that the rest of them are going to go out with quite a quite low points overall. MJ, they have 2 wins already today. It's a 6-point game here. It's not going to be the worst thing ever, but Powerful are the guys that up top of things secured themselves a hell of a lot of points in all of it. But guys, that is going to be all for this game so far. Do you have any last remarks before we throw it to a little break?
Airwaves getting 8 kills. They might not have only got 3 points, but 8 kills. Sorry, fantastic play.
Look at the damage, 2,400 damage from Powerful. I think they had more damage than a lot of the other teams combined. I mean, individually, Masterlick probably had more damage in there than most other teams had in total. Very impressive to see, but we'll take it to a short break, guys. Then we'll be back and ready with the next one in just a few, so stick around. We will be right back.